Now, he's a fantastic individual, and we are lucky to have him as our new CEO. As a boss, a mentor, I've been here 3 years, and he's been invaluable to me personally in helping me think through how do I look at the evolution of VMware India as we look forward, and he's been a hands-on mentor, right, in that journey. In terms of his own as an individual, he's been in the company 18 years. And he's almost a founder of the company. I think he joined the company when there were about 200 employees in the company. We are about 30 plus thousand at this point. So as an individual, he's had a hand in shaping the organization and the company over its journey. In terms of company strategy, his hand has shaped the company strategy, even in the newest strategy that we are focused on with cloud and Anywhere Workspace and TANZU, and every one of those. His hand has had help shape that, right? Including our overall SaaS and subscription migration. So he's not new to the business realities of VMware, the product realities of VMware, the customer realities of what our customers are going through. So in that sense, I think he's a fantastic choice. Personally, I look forward to him continuing to be a mentor, and now as the CEO, help me, and the India organization as we start to grow and mature, and we continue to deliver to the larger, strategy of the company and the customers. So for me personally, and for our organization in India and VMware as a whole, I think we couldn't have had a better choice for CEO. Very key part of our global network of centers that exists, and this is our second largest center outside of our headquarters in Palo Alto. And we are a multi-function center here in India, and we have not just R&D, which is a large part of what we do, but we also have we sell up sales, and then we have support our products from here. We have backend services and operations for various other functions as well, including IT. So it's a very, very key part of our overall structure. So from VMware India. Now, in terms of historical context, we've been in India since 2004. That was only a few years after the company was founded. So we've been in India for a very long time and been a very integral part of the India MNC centers here. Of course, we have grown over all these years and matured, in the last few years has been quite high. So overall, like I said, a very key part of our global delivery as a company, and not just for just from a global market perspective, also regionally, right? We have a lot of customers in India, we have a lot of customers in APJ, which are more closer to from an India perspective. So very key part of what we do. Our internal IT, but our IT is unique in the sense that not only do we run our own infrastructure and running for our employees, but our IT also manages the customer-facing SaaS infrastructure, so like billing systems and all that. So our IT plays an extremely strategic role in our, as a part of our organization. Other than that, we have teams that support our customers. We have sub teams that actually are part of our sales and marketing organizations, go-to-market organizations, and then we have back-end shared services for various functions like finance and marketing and HR. From a traditional license-driven model to SaaS and subscription. Now, what that entails for us is a much more stronger collaboration that needs to be brought forward between product and go-to-market. And that's why I said earlier that for us, VMware India provides a very unique perspective because of the fact that we can touch every part of the customer journey is viewable for us from India perspective, not just for India customers, but global customers, and we can bring that forward. So as a company, we are going through this change, we are going through this transition, and as it's publicly available as we announce our earnings, we break out our SaaS and subscription earnings from our license revenues, right? And for us, multi-cloud, VMware Cloud, as we call it, is really about providing a single pane of glass and an easy to and familiar set of tools that infrastructure admins around our customers who are already very familiar with VMware because they use it on a day-to-day basis. How are they able to leverage that on-prem private cloud strategy and public cloud strategy, irrespective of whether it is AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or any of the mega cloud providers? how do we provide them an easy to use and automated set of tools that enables them to manage this at scale, right? Big focus for us, and we are seeing a huge amount of uptake from that perspective, right? So that's very key for us. The second area is around app modernization. As people are going through this journey, as they're going through this journey of going to cloud, what we have, large enterprises around the world have hundreds of thousands of applications that have built over, 30, 40, 50 years, right? Depending on the age of the enterprise. As they move to cloud, they have to modernize these applications because many of these applications were built for an era which, it spans everything from mainframes to mini computers to PCs to workstations to everything else. So they have to bring it forward. And we are seeing a huge amount of both, need from our customers, as well as they are looking for strategies and a thought partner who can help them go through this journey. And VMware is well positioned to do that, right? With our VMware TANZU, you may have familiar with that term. VMware TANZU is not just one product. It's a family of products that helps customers modernize as they go along rather than having to do a cut and move, which is impossible for a lot of our large enterprises to do. Our customers are demanding new experiences from them, which was nice to have in the past. Second part to this is, as they are starting to do this, they are also shifting business models. And the business model changes are going to necessitate a whole range of new thought process in terms of how they need to be able to deliver to their customers, where digital becomes the underpinnings and the foundation around which that needs to be delivered. VMware is the world's largest digital infrastructure provider to our customers. And so now we are seeing a need, not just from the large traditional enterprises, which are large customers of ours, but also from medium enterprises. We are seeing this from small companies. I mean, in India, we've been talking to startups, right? A lot of startups, as they're starting to scale. I mean, as we know, a number of unicorns have emerged in India in the last 1 year, right? I think even this year we have, had 6 or 7 unicorns who have emerged. These companies, as they're starting to scale, are hitting the exact same problems large enterprises. They have to make sense of their customer data on-prem. They have to make sense of public cloud interfaces that they need to interface with. Their lifecycle management of their own applications is tremendously fast. And given that many of these are cloud native born, containerization, Kubernetes is the underpinnings on which their applications are built. They are also struggling with making sense of scaling. And they are coming to us and saying, hey, how can you help us? What can we do to help? I mean, I'm citing Indian startups, but this is a story around the world, right? So digital transformation has created a sense of scale that everybody is now saying, okay, how do I manage what I need to do? The third part of digital transformation is, how do I provide a new set of differentiated experiences for my own employees? How do I keep them productive? Productivity metrics. Because TANZU has several components. TANZU is not one thing. It's a collection of things. But at the end of the day, it's about how do we enable our customers to deploy and manage multi-cloud infrastructures and applications on top of it at scale, right? So it has an infrastructure layer, it has a DevOps layer, it has an application development layer, right? All three play a big role. And Kubernetes is where we saw the market going several years ago, and we continue to see the evolution of how customers are evolving applications. See, the thing that we have to remember is applications that are being developed today, for every application that's being developed today, there are probably thousands of applications that are already existing that companies are using. And they have to modernize. I mean, they have no choice. I mean, the rapidity with which their businesses are changing, the customer demands are changing. The ability to manage and automate this infrastructure at scale needs to happen. So we continue to grow, we don't cite our numbers in terms of like some of the other companies do in telling you exactly how many people we are going to hire. But suffice it to say that, we have been growing double digits in terms of percentage, and we intend to continue that level of focus in terms of growing. But it is not just about growing headcount, right? I mean, what is important for us is how does that growth reflect in the company and the company's strategy? And so our growth alignment is really about how do we harness all the functions that I just mentioned to you? How do we harness all of that to bring our growth forward for a company in terms of supporting our customers? Now, I'm also happy to report that when we think about our growth, we don't just do it in terms of just hiring numbers and look at it from the market. We have also announced a set of programs that we are extremely proud of. You might have heard of VM Inclusion Tara, which is, we have 2 returnship programs for women that we are focusing on. VM Inclusion Tara is what we announced in January of 2019 with the ambitious goal of helping 15,000 women come back to the workforce. And I'm very glad to report that, we have over 10,000 women who have signed up with VM Inclusion Tara and who are working on, restarting their careers from a global, from an India perspective. Now, the way we think about VM Inclusion Tara is not just about VMware, right? I mean, while we are training them on VMware technologies, where we have really found, and we are very heartened to see, is that our customers and partners in India who use VMware technology, and not just Indian customers. I mean, we have customers here who are global customers who have centers in India. They have been very enthusiastically supporting us with VM Inclusion Tara because they see the value of a trained workforce, a mature workforce that they can tap into and harness for their own growing needs. Second program is one called Nakshatra, which is a returnship program that we announced. It's an apprentice program for women who've been out of the workforce for at least 2 years. And this one is about VMware. So we are looking to bring back, hire people who go through this program into VMware for our own needs. And it is not just an R&D. It is a holistic program. We look at people who have experience in finance, who have experience in R&D, in development, who have experience in IT, who have experience in other, marketing and etc. We have multiple avenues for how innovation happens within the company. One is in the roadmap, right? I mean, we have features in the products and from an R&D perspective, etc. That comes in. We have process innovation. How do we speed things up? How do we speed up decision making? How do we streamline decision making? How do we make data more visible and available to people at various levels to make decisions? A lot of that has been a big focus of the company as we have grown. And that is, it's not something that we did in the last 1 year, right? This is a journey that we've been on and being able to do. So that drives innovation, process innovation, changes in how we operate, changes in how we think about things. So for us, innovation is a very holistic. And then the third area is inorganic innovation. Like I mentioned to you, we do a lot of work with research institutions. We have, interns from IITs who come and spend summers with us. We work with professors. And that's part of our global research network. But we also do a lot of off-band innovation exercises in the company. We have hackathons. We have what we call X Labs, which is our, X Labs is our internal incubator, if you may, right? Where employees come up with ideas, and they don't necessarily have to be from R&D. They can be from other functions, and good ideas get funded, right? To be taken forward to the next level of, next milestones. And at some point, good ideas eventually land up back into the product units. Right? They land up, if there are R&D kind of projects, they land back into product units. They get absorbed back into the roadmaps.